Welcome to Marvel Rewind, a Marvel Champions retrospective series. In this series, I will be tasked with defeating every villain in order, progressing from the core set to the latest release. The catch? I'm only allowed to use cards released up until that point. After defeating the villain, they each will be ranked in terms of their difficulty, determined by the cards available at the time. Thematic matchups, crazy boost effects, and sinister encounter cards await. Tune in every Tuesday for new episodes of Marvel Rewind. What's going on, guys? It's Char here, bringing you guys another episode of Marvel Rewind, a Marvel Champions retrospective series. Now, for today's episode, we're continuing through the box Rise of the Red Skull. That means we're on to the second villain, Absorbing Man, and we're going to be taking him on with none other than Clint Barton Hawkeye. Let's get down to the table, see how it goes. Okay, so here we are down at the table now. We're facing off against Absorbing Man today. This is one of the more infamous villains in the game for maybe some way we might see in this game coming up. Let's go ahead and do his setup. So if we look at his main scheme card here, I'm not going to try and focus on the camera. It just says the contents are Absorbing Man 1 and 2 or 2 and 3 if we're playing on Expert. It's the Absorbing Man encounter set, standard encounter sets, and one modular encounter set, which is Hydra Patrol. He has a setup ability, which we will do after we put the encounter deck together, but it says discard cards from the encounter deck until an environment is discarded. Put that card into play and shuffle the encounter deck discard pile into the encounter deck. So we're going to go ahead and flip this over. We also know that Absorbing Man does have the super absorbing power that comes into play. If super absorbing power, so he has a when revealed, if super absorbing power is in play, deal one encounter card each player. Otherwise, search the encounter deck discard pile for super absorbing power and reveal it. So actually, I think the way that this works is, I think this actually does have to go into the deck for once, because usually what happens is that I would, usually what would happen is that I would just take it out and do the setup as normal. Oh wait, let me show you what these are. This is the standard and expert set along with my obligation. This is Hydra Patrol. We're going to shuffle these in, make the encounter deck. Usually what I would do is I would just take it out and then mill as normal for the environment. But since super absorbing power does actually check from the discard, it could get discarded in the initial mill, which could change a little bit. So, because I'm almost positive that setup abilities come before the when revealed on the villain, which means we would have to do the milling for the encounter deck beforehand. So that's fine. We'll just, when we do the cut to the winning game or whatnot, we'll just have to reveal it then at the start of every one of those games. Shuffling up here, and okay. It's a good shuffle there. Let's shuffle up our player deck, even though we're not going to be drawing until we finish the villain setup and when revealed. And then we can do our stuff. We're on leadership today because, I mean, he came with leadership, but I thought the ideas behind it was really cool. There's stuff like Earth's Mightiest Heroes to ready and play multiple arrows in a turn because, you know, his arrows are contingent on his bow being ready. He can exhaust ready his bow and things like that. Hawkeye is another one of the more infamous heroes in terms of strength. People don't think he's very good. I think he's all right. He's a lot of fun, but obviously he's not, you know, one of the top tiers of the game or anything like that. So that should be that. So we're going to go ahead and cut and get to the game that is successful. Okay, so here we are. We've got the setup going. We finally got Hawkeye on the table in the right place. So we're just going to go ahead and start milling for a setup ability until we find an environment card. Okay, it was the first card. So it was discard cards from the encounter deck until you find an environment and put it into play. So we got Dense Forest here. It says after Absorbing Man makes an undefended attack against you, take 1 indirect damage. 2 if he has 5 or more delay counters. So that's one thing I didn't talk about here. He has a delay counter mechanic, which is like the amount of turns that pass. He gets like extra effects on his encounter cards. They're really not like super major or anything like that. They more so affect that campaign mode, but they are a mechanic in here that we do have to keep in mind. The main scheme is going to come in with 2 threat per player, and it pops at 12. And then also we have to do his when revealed ability, which is basically you find the side scheme super absorbing power. Okay, it was at the bottom. That is really crazy that's how that worked out. We got an environment at the top, super absorbing power at the bottom. But yeah, basically this side scheme comes in, and it doesn't have any bad icons, but it gives him all of these traits, which is ice, metal, stone, and wood. And what these traits do is they add like extra kickers to like his encounter cards or maybe like his activations and whatnot. So we don't want it on there, but also it's not like the end of the world because there's not something super immediately negative with it being there. So we have got Hawkeye here. You know, he's got his weapon of choice action, which basically lets him discard a resource and go search for his bow. So we've got a 6 hand size, 9 health. Sorry, man, set with 15. So let's see this hand here. So we've got a quiver in the opening hand, which is extremely good. We have expert marksman as well. Okay. I like both of those. Let me see if I can find maybe something that lets me play down Mockingbird as well. Or, yeah, let's do that. Maybe we keep the make the call instead because it's versatile and it's something that's not super good. Yeah, let's just discard these 3. Drop 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. All right. So I think our plan is we're going to stay down for a turn if possible. I mean, we can also flip up. It's not like a huge problem. But I think we want to get set up is the main thing here. So we know that the quiver is only a hero action. Okay. What do we want here? A double would have been really nice because I think we could have played our whole hand out, but we're just gonna have to make do here. So I do want to get the Avengers tower down. I want to get the quiver. And yeah, that's about it. I can't play anything else. Let's see. Maybe we just keep the Avengers tower in hand. Keep this. Maybe, yeah, maybe we'll just spend the cable arrow and we'll keep the Avengers tower. So I'm gonna spend, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do this one here for expert marksman, so we can generate a resource for our arrow cards. And we're gonna spend 1 for Hawkeye's quiver, which lets us just search for arrow cards and play them as if we had them. Man, do I care about the Avengers tower? I think maybe not. We're just gonna go ahead and spend the Avengers tower. We're gonna find our bow. I think we will flip up. No, flipping up is just too scary, I think. But we will just go ahead and grab the bow, I think. And we'll just go ahead and play that down. And I think we'll just stay down. We'll keep the cable arrow in hand. Even though we're kind of losing value on the quiver here, I would just rather stay down, be safe for a turn, and maybe get some allies going. And okay, we're just gonna pass turn there. We're gonna drop 4 more cards too. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yeah. This is all the cards we got. All right, it's gonna go to Absorbing Man here. He's gonna make the main team go up by 1. It's 1 threat. He's gonna get a delay counter after resolving step 1 of the villain phase. Then he's gonna scheme against us for a base of 2, 3. So it's gonna go up to 6 here. And then he's gonna reveal an encounter card. Abandoned facility. So it's gonna surge. So we've got a new environment into play. After he makes an undefended attack, we discard a resource from our hand. Then we've got Avalanche. When revealed, each player must choose to either spend a lightning bolt resource or take 2 indirect damage. I think we're okay with 2 indirect here. Or we spend a lightning bolt resource. Let me plan out my hand real quick. So if we want to get Mockingbird out, like this, and then yeah, I think we'll just take the 2 indirect. So we'll go down to 7 here. We'll get Mockingbird out. And then this is going to come in with 2 threat per player. Hopefully Mockingbird has 2 threats. I think she does. Or do we get... Yeah, she does. The villain initiates an attack. Spend 1 resource. Prevent all damage from that attack. Okay. Really good. Or we could get Goliath. Choices here. Okay. What do we want to do? So we have all these options. Do we use our... Yeah, I think we're going to use this to recover. So we're going to go back up to 9 because I think we're about to take an undefended attack from him next turn, which we should be okay with. Oh, no, we have an electric arrow. I didn't even think about that. I think the arrow is a much better use. Maybe we can do it like this. We'll spend the electric arrow. We'll spend the cable arrow. And then we'll make the call out Mockingbird anyways. Yeah, that's going to be a lot better for us, actually. I didn't even think about that. Oh, no, but we can't actually spend 2 arrows here. We'd have to be fine with only stunning. I think we are fine with that. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, we're going to... then there's no point in having the cable arrow. I think we'll just spend the quiver first and see where that leads us. Okay, we're going to spend our quiver. We're going to look at our top 5 and see what we can find. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, sonic arrow, vibranium arrow. Confuse an enemy, deal 3 damage, 6 damage. Let's put the confuse underneath our quiver here. So we look at our top 5, we put any arrow event face up underneath our quiver, and then we can use it to, we can play any arrow cards as if they were in our hand. Maybe, do we take that exhaust back? Actually, I think we do a slight cheat here because I do want to do the double arrow. So we're going to take the exhaust back. It's not like it changed anything because it was the last thing we did. And it didn't change anything knowing the sonic arrow either because I did want to do the 2 arrows beforehand. So we'll do a slight take back there because I think this is going to be a much better turn for us if we can double arrow. So I'm going to go ahead and spend this double resource here to go ahead and play an electric arrow. We're going to exhaust Hawkeye's bow. We're going to stun an enemy and deal 3 damage. So Absorbing Man's going to get stunned here. He's going to take 3 damage going from 15 down to 12. And then we're going to go ahead and use our action here, Quick Draw. We're going to exhaust Hawkeye to ready our bow. Then we're going to exhaust our bow again so that we can play cable arrow along with expert marksman because it generates a wild resource for an arrow event. We're going to exhaust Hawkeye's bow. We're going to remove 3 threat from a scheme, ignoring any crisis icons. I think we'll remove it from super absorbing power here just to get that out of the way. And then we're going to spend these 3 resources and make the call so we can go ahead and get out where is she? Mockingbird here. So she has an interrupt. When the villain initiates an attack, we can spend 1 resource, return Mockingbird to your hand, prevent all damage from that attack. We're going to have a thwart for 2 off of Avalanche here. That's going to go ahead and clear that off. And I think that was a pretty successful turn for Hawkeye. So we're just going to ready everything up and draw up 5 cards. Team Training, U.S. Agent, Helicarrier, Earth's Mightiest. Okay. All right. So that's back to him. The main is going to go up to 7. He's going to get another delay counter. He's going to try and attack us, but he can't because he's stunned. And then we get an encounter card. Assault. The villain attacks you. Okay, so if he makes an undefended attack, we have to discard 1 resource from our hand. Does the resource matter here? I really want to get more use out of Mockingbird. So I think that it doesn't matter. Because I think our turn is going to be Helicarrier anyways. And we only have 3 resources anyway. So we're just going to take this undefended. That's 2. If there are 5 or more delay counters, take 1 indirect. So that's just 2 damage there. It's going to bring us down to 5. So all things considered, not bad. Then we have to do the forced response. After he makes an undefended attack, discard 1 resource from your hand. I think we're just going to get rid of a U.S. agent here. And okay, that's back to us. So we're going to go ahead and exhaust our quiver here to see what we can find. So we're looking for some arrows. 3, 4, and 5. Explosive arrow, vibranium arrow, sonic arrow. I think we'll do cable again just if we need some thwart. 1 for 3 is good. We're going to shuffle these back in. And we're probably going to get a flip down here. Yeah, because... Oh, wait. I think we needed the resource. Oh, no, we didn't. Reduce the cost of the next card a player plays this phase. Okay, as if they were in our hand. Okay, we're still good. We're going to spend these 3 resources here, get down a Helicarrier. So to come in ready. We're going to exhaust the Helicarrier and Expert Marksman. We're going to go ahead and spend a Sonic Arrow here. So what this is going to go ahead and do, we have to exhaust our bow. We're going to confuse an enemy and deal 3 damage. So we're going to confuse Absorbing Man here and do 3 damage to him. That's going to bring him down to 9. So we're dealing some damage, and we're kind of, you know, locking him down a little bit, which is what we want to see. Wait, did I not thwart with Mockingbird when I played her. Oh my goodness, I can't take that back. That is okay. Yeah, I didn't mean to not do that. So we're gonna go ahead and thwart here, bring this down to 5. That's crazy because I don't think I did. Now that I'm thinking about it. Um, okay, and then what's gonna happen? I think we flip down. Do I thwart for 1? No, I think we're gonna flip down and we're gonna recover for 3 here, bring us back up to 8, get somewhat healthy, and we're gonna ready up. Okay, let's see. 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Earth's Mightiest, Avengers Assemble, Avengers Mansion, Maria Hill. Okay, these are just really good cards to keep us going and keep us set up. So I'm really happy to see them. He's going to go up to 6 here. The delay counter is going to go up to 3. He's going to try and scheme against us. He can't because he's confused. We have an encounter card, Caught Off Guard. He's got an upgrade or support you control. It's got to be our bow, right? Because we just flipped down. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get rid of that. And then that's back to us. She should be ready. Okay, so it looks like we have to... do this. We draw a card. Maria Hill. Yeah, okay. So we're going to spend these 4 resources here. We're going to play it down in Avengers Mansion. It's going to come in ready. We're going to exhaust it to draw a card. Got a Power of Leadership. Oh, okay. So we don't even have to spend the Helicarrier, which is pretty good. We're going to spend the Power of Leadership here to go ahead and play Maria Hill. After she enters play, we're going to draw a card. We got to get ready. Then we're going to use our action weapon of choice. We're going to spend 1 resource of any type. We're going to search our deck and discard pile for our bow. This was a perfect time to hit a Caught Off Guard. It was craziness. So we got our Caught Off Guard, our bow, but we could get it right back with some smart play here. And yeah, so we got our bow back in action. We can get back to slinging some arrows, and we can keep this threat in check. So I like what we're looking at right here, and we're just gonna start pushing some damage. It looks like. So let's go ahead and exhaust our quiver. See what we can find. 3, 4, 5. Should still be some arrows left in the deck here. So we have explosive arrow and vibranium arrow. I think we want the vibranium if we want to push him to his next phase. So we'll go ahead and add that underneath. Explosive arrow just deals 3 damage. He doesn't seem to have a ton of minions, so we're gonna shuffle up what's left of the encounter deck here. All right. Haven't seen a Nick Fury yet, which is interesting. I don't know, maybe I just missed him. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is, I was just making sure I actually put him in the deck. I'm pretty sure he's in there. We just haven't drawn him. So we haven't done any activations yet. I think we will go ahead and spend our expert marksman and then Hawkeye's bow. Yeah, we'll just spend the cable arrow. So, oh no. Do we need to? We could do a vibranium here and knock him into stage 3. We want to do that. No, because he gets extra stuff when he activates. Maybe we just have Mockingbird swing here. Yeah, let's do that. So we're just gonna spend 1 for the cable, or we'll just keep the helicarrier up. We'll just do exhaust Hawkeye's bow, remove 3 threat from a scheme. We're gonna bring this all the way down to 3. There we go, and then we're gonna have Maria Hill thwart here for 2. Gonna bring this down to 1. Gonna take a consequential. The team training would go crazy here, but we did have to ditch it. I think we're gonna swing for 2 and then 3s for a total of 5. Hawkeye and his daughter. Bring Absorbing Man down to 4, and that's it. This is gonna go up to 2. Yeah, I don't want to forget that. And okay, I think that's cool. That's cool. Oh no. We did have her activate. We didn't give her consequential because she cleared Avalanche. I'm trying to think here, right? That's what she came in to do. Yeah, I'm almost certain she should be at 2 already. I just didn't put the consequential on her. So I think that's fine that we don't do that 2 damage then. I'll say that she's still up with 2 here. And then we'll just put him back to 6. I'm almost positive that's what happened. I might have to go and check that, so give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm back, and I did confirm that I definitely missed a consequential damage there, which is completely fine. We're gonna give him that 2 damage back, and we're just gonna leave Mockingbird up here with 2 because she only had 1 extra activation after that. It was at 6, and we did the arrow and Maria Hill to bring it down to 1. So we're just gonna leave it at that, and we're just gonna ready everything up here. So we should be fine, good to go. Didn't want to get too many uses out of my allies here because that is not. That is just not how it's supposed to be. Okay, so Absorbing Man is going to go up to 2. It's going to go up to 4. So yeah, the main scheme is going to go up to 2. The delay counter is going to go up to 4. He's going to attack us. We're going to block Maria Hill here. So that's 1, 2, 3 damage. Maria Hill is defeated. And then we have to deal with an encounter card. Let's see what it is. Under fire, surge, and reveal the top card of the encounter deck. Oh boy. Okay. Rocky Outcrop. So this is going to surge again. It's going to come into play and replace Abandoned Facility. So we're going to get another card. It's going to surge. I think this gets revealed first. Assault. The villain attacks you. Okay. This says after absorbing man's undefended attack, heal 1 damage, heal 2 if it's... So I think I'm going to let this attack resolve, but I'm going to use her interrupt when he initiates an attack. I can spend 1 resource, return Mockingbird to your hand, and prevent all damage. Do I want to do that? Do I need Mockingbird here? Let's do it anyways, because I don't think we're going to play the explosive arrow. So we'll just, yeah. So he's going to attack us for a base of 2. It was just 2 damage. So we're going to return her to our hand, getting rid of all of that damage. But he still did make an undefended attack, so he's going to heal 1 back up to 7. We have this last encounter card. Gang up. The villain and each minion engaged with you attacks you. Okay. I think we just also have to take this. Yeah, I don't think we have much of a choice. I mean, it's a 1 defensive and birthday. We're just gonna take it here. So that's 2, 3. If he has a stone or wood trait, you are stunned. Oh, that's unlucky, but I'm glad we didn't defend it. So we're gonna take 3 damage there. It's gonna bring us down to 5, and we are stunned. So that's pretty tough. And then also he heals 1 more damage that brings him back up to 8. Okay, and now it's back to us. What do we want to do here? Oh, I think we're gonna start off with an Avengers Mansion here. Actually, let's do our quiver first. So there's only like 4 cards left in the deck anyway. So let's see if any of them are arrows. We got an explosive arrow because why not? You know Nick Fury's coming next turn, or it could come this turn. So let's just shuffle up. I don't know where he's at. I'm just trying to do it enough. Okay. Let's spend an Avengers Mansion. Do we draw him? We drew War Machine. Interesting. Okay. I think I want to play the explosive arrow here and doing expert marksman helicarrier. Man, we're like one something short. Sorry, electric arrow. If we just spent an explosive, we'd probably be better off. I don't know. I'm like kind of feeling a flip here, but if he goes crazy on the encounter cards, this ain't great. Now the stun is just really so much safer. Maybe we keep this Mockingbird in hand then. Okay. Is there any way I can play like 3 cards here? I'm trying to think. I think the answer is no. Oh, so we're gonna just attack here to break our stun. We'll start with that. We're gonna spend helicarrier and expert marksman for an electric arrow. We're gonna stun an enemy and deal 3 damage. Gonna bring him down to 5, and he is stunned. I think, yeah, we were gonna use Hawkeye and just deal some damage with her. We're gonna spend strength here for Hawkeye. And then we have an action. We can exhaust this ally and discard one card from my hand. Deal X damage to an enemy where X is the number of printed resources. Oh, so she only deals one. I was reading this as she dealt damage equal to the cost, but that makes a lot more sense. Do I just have her swing then? Hmm. Oh, I guess we never did spend an arrow. Oh no, we did. We did. We just did to stun him. Yeah. That's tough because maybe we could have done an explosive arrow. It's a really awkward hand, and then we deck out regardless. Just have Hawkeye swing for 2, I think. Bring him down to 3. Maybe an explosive arrow next turn can get him. And okay, we have another turn. We've got to survive. We got some pretty low health. We're gonna discard these 2. Drop 2 more. We got a Nick Fury and a Make the Call. Okay, Nick Fury's gonna give us a ton of tempo, but we have to survive the turn. So let's see what we can do. Okay. We can also hit like a straight up Hawkeye swing for 3 and knock him into the next phase. That could be good. You got options here for sure. Okay. That's 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5. US Agent and Explosive Arrow. Okay, we got a face down encounter card as well. This is going to go up to 3. He finally hit 5 delay counters here, so he's going to get some extra effects. It's 3 on the main. He's going to try and attack us. He is stunned. 2 encounter cards to deal with. The first one is Master Plan. Place 4 threat on each side scheme. If there's no side schemes in play, discard from the top of the encounter deck until we find a side scheme. So we've got probably a ton of discards here. Oh, I think it's probably gonna end up being Hydra Patrol, right? I'm sure it is now looking at. Oh no, it's Avalanche. Okay, I'm cool with that, I think. Each player must spend a lightning bolt resource or take 2 indirect damage. 3 indirect if there are 5 or more delay counters. I think we're actually gonna spend. We don't have the HP here to spare. We're gonna use Mockingbird as a lightning bolt arrow because lightning bolt icon because she's a wild resource, and we'll just do that. And then we have one more encounter card, Advance. So he's gonna scheme with a base of 2. Boost to reveal this card. Attached to Absorbing Man, shuffled into the deck, Ball and Chain. Okay. All right. So Absorbing Man, he's not going down without a fight, which is, what we like to see. I'm just going to do a Helicarrier here and spend these 3 resources to go ahead and play a Nick Fury. Use his ability to draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Sonic Arrow, Maria Hill, and Energy. Okay. Then what we want to do is, I think we're going to have Nick Fury thwart for 2 off of Avalanche here just to clear that off. He's going to take a consequential damage. Did we add his scheme to this? No, right? It was at 3, and then he would have schemed for, it was attached, right? And he has a base scheme of, it would have been a base scheme of 3, so it should probably be at 6 here. Again, I don't actually remember if I did or not, but 3 seems really low. No, there's no way, because he would have schemed for 3. And it goes up by 1 at the step 1 of the villain phase. So yeah, there's no way I added it. Okay, I'm missing a couple things today, feeling kind of out of it, but that's all right. Okay. What do we want to do now? I think we play a Maria Hill for sure. So she's going to come into play. Each player draws a card. We got a Cable Arrow, which can help us with some thwarting for sure. Do we want to use our quiver here? Look at our top 5 and attach it face up. If we find an arrow. Okay, we found another Cable Arrow here. So we have a big selection of arrows to choose from our quiver. Which is pretty good. I don't mind that at all. Okay, so we have like 2 blocks on the board basically. We can do 1 damage with Hawkeye. I think I want to. Oh, we never even spent an Avengers range. So let's just Avengers team training. That might be better. I don't actually know about that. Maybe we keep it in hand though, because that might be good. Yeah, maybe we do keep it in hand. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna spend the cable arrow and expert marksman for sonic arrow here. We're gonna confuse an enemy and deal 3 damage to it just so we have some advanced protection. So we're gonna deal 3 damage here. It's gonna knock him into phase 3. So phase 3 comes in. He gains a trait of each environment after he activates against you. If he has ice or stone, he places 1/3 on the main. If he has metal or wood, we take 1 indirect. So he's actually going to put a lot more threat on the main here, which is kind of scary. I don't know. But yeah, that was an arrow, so we're going to have to exhaust that. I think we're just going to have Hawkeye swing for 3. How much health? Oh, 16 health points. So not very much at all. Hawkeye's going to swing for 3, though. It's already going to bring him down to 13. Do we have Kate? Do we have Kate here just swing for 2 and explode, or do we play it safe? I think we just play it safe. We'll keep her up for a block. We're gonna throw her for 2 off the main, bring it down to 4, and she's gonna take a consequential. I think that's it. I think we're gonna ready up. We have so many arrows we can play here. He has a confuse on him, and we're gonna drop 4 cards on 2, 3, and 4. Okay, vibranium arrow. I mean, double vibranium arrow, I think, gets it, right? Because I have 1 on here already. Yeah, so that's 6, 12. Okay, so we should have the game here, but let's see how it goes. Decided to play it a bit safe. So the main is going to go up to 5. The delay counter is going to go up to 6. He's going to activate against us with a base of 3 for attack. And also, after he activates, we have to place 1/3 on the main. So let's not forget that. So he's going to scheme on us, attack us with a base of 4 attack. We're going to block here. So that's 5. Nick Fury's defeated. After he activates, we're going to add 1 threat to the main. It's going to bring it up to 6. And then we're going to get an encounter card here. This was a defended attack, so we just ignore that. Hydra Patrol. When defeated, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion and puts it in play. Engage with them. It's going to come in with 2 threat, and that should be the end of the game here. So let's see what we can do. So we're just playing some arrows, it looks like. Let's go ahead and spend an Avengers Mansion here. Let's draw a card. Sonic arrow, sure. Let's do a quiver also. See if we can get even more value. 2, 3, 4, and 5. We got an electric arrow. All right. So many arrows are underneath this card. Thinning out the deck so much to be able to draw into kind of like powerful allies and whatnot. But, you know, we didn't get exhausted. We can definitely spend 2 arrows here. And it should be the kill on Absorbing Man. Okay, let's see what we can do. So yeah, we're just gonna spend a vibranium arrow from hand, I think. So we're gonna spend, yeah, why not? Let's spend these 2 resources here. We're gonna go ahead and spend a vibranium arrow for our action. We have to exhaust the bow, deal 6 damage to an enemy, and it gains piercing. So it's gonna bring him from 13 down to 7. That's 6 damage. Then we're going to use our action here. We're going to exhaust Hawkeye to ready our bow, so we can spend another arrow. We're going to use Hawkeye's quiver, where it says you can play an arrow event attached to this as if they were in your hand. We're going to do a helicarrier expert marksman. And let's pick up all the arrows here. We have an electric, vibranium, explosive, and cable. We're going to spend another vibranium arrow here. So we have to exhaust our bow. And we deal 6 damage to an enemy. We're going to choose Absorbing Man against piercing. Brings him down to 1 health. Hawkeye is already exhausted, and we still have, you know, resources here, so we'll just spend this double, get down a team training. I guess we could have got a, yeah, team training, so they all have 1 extra hit point. I'm gonna swing for 2 damage. It's gonna go ahead and defeat Absorbing Man, but it's 1 overkill, and she still survives because she has an extra hit point. Mary Hill is gonna swing for 1, and that's gonna bring him to 2 overkill, and that is Hawkeye defeating Absorbing Man. We're going to go ahead and check out the deck list right after this. Okay, so here we are down at the table looking at the deck list. Now, Hawkeye is another one of those heroes that kind of gets a bad rap, but in where I think Hulk is somewhat unplayable, I think Hawkeye is a lot more playable, especially when you open Hawkeye's Quiver turn 1, which of course we got very lucky with that. It was not our first attempt though. We did lose our first attempt to an advance. And I think I want to show kind of the losing attempts in the future in some way. I just don't really know how that would manifest. And I don't want it to just upload it as like on the channel because it's not good if it's just like, oh, here's my loss compilation. But maybe it is. Y'all let me know about that in the comments below. So this is our 15 specific hero identity cards. You know, Hawkeye is all about the arrows. He gets his bow. He has to exhaust the bow to spend an arrow. It's kind of like an antiquated design. I'm not saying that it doesn't work or it doesn't make sense, but I think nowadays he'd probably get his bow at setup. He'd have a 6 hand size. And then he would probably not have to exhaust his hero, or he could just spend as many arrows as he want. The problem is like he's an event-based hero, but he has a restriction where he can max play like 2 events a turn or 3 if you get like this Earth Mightiest Heroes combo, which I do want to talk about even though it didn't come up. We're on this one support, which is team training. That's something that Hawkeye came with that was just really good. It gives all of your allies 1 extra hit point, which is kind of crazy. You just get so much more use out of your allies. And it's supposed to specifically combo with a card like Get Ready, using that extra hit point, kind of like attack with an ally, ready them, defend, or throw with an ally, and then use them in the hero phase to defend. I didn't take Hawkeye out of his pre-con leadership because it's really thematic for him because he's not a one-man show. He doesn't have any superpowers. He really does rely on all of the Avengers to really help him and turn him into the hero that he is. And that's really represented on his hero card, which has basically no ability other than readying his bow. He has low stats and he has very low HP and recovery. So he really needs the allies to help him out and defend for him, which is fine. I think it's cool thematically. It's okay that not every hero has to be the standout juggernaut, like insane turns. Hawkeye's cool. I'm a fan of him. We're looking at our resource cards here. We're on the 3 basic doubles and the 2 leadership doubles. Like I said, it's pretty much going to be standard for almost every single deck in this series, barring a few characters. It's just to help bump up their economy, especially when we're doing a limited card pool. Speaking of, we only have like 3 packs we used today, which was Hawkeye, Hawkeye from the Rise of the Red Skull, the core box, and of course, Captain America for this card, and I think one other, but getting ahead of myself. For our leadership events, we're on double Get Ready just to come with the team training, triple Make the Call because it's just so good. It's basically 3 copies of any ally you want as long as they're in your discard pile. So versatile, and it just lets you get the answers you need when you need it. Then Avengers Assemble, I love this card as a flavor card. I think it's also really strong if it goes off. Just max 1 per round. You ready every Avenger character you control until the end of the phase. Each Avenger character gets +1 thwart and attack. Hawkeye could swing for 3 and then swing for 4, and then all his allies could do the same, like 2 for 3. And it's just huge, really bursty end the round card, and it's just really fun and really cool. Didn't have a chance to play it, but I wanted to include it just because I thought it was cool. We're looking at our leadership allies here. We're on Hawkeye. As you saw in the gameplay, I kind of misread her effect, and I realized if the effect worked that I thought it did, it's going to be absolutely nuts. Basically, you can do an action, exhaust this ally, and discard a card from your hand. She deals damage equal to the number of resource icons on the card, not the cost of the card. I was like, oh, I'm just going to drop War Machine here and do a 4 damage. Definitely not. It would only do 1. The doubles can do 2. And let's say you're playing a Captain Marvel, you can drop like an energy to deal 3. But at that point, you're probably putting it into energy channel. So defeats the point. We're on Maria Hill. She's just so good, right? You get the card draw. Black Knight, US Agent, and Goliath. I think all of these are from Hawkeye's. I just wanted to represent the allies he came with. I think all these allies are good. In the game that you guys didn't see, which to go into a little bit, I lost to an advance. Even though I didn't open Quiver turn 1, it was kind of like a back and forth. It was a good game, but at the very end, I lost to an advance. So, like I said, I want to try and find a way to kind of represent these lost games that isn't just uploading a lost compilation on the channel. So again, if you guys have ideas on if you're interested in kind of the losses I have for the series, just leave it down below and maybe we'll work something out. US Agent here's got Retaliate 1, I think is really good. And the 5 hit points, I think this is a really underrated ally, especially with Get Ready. You can do like thwart for 2, and then defend with him, do a Retaliate, ping off a tough. Goliath, I think I'm a fan of, especially with Get Ready, which is why I kept him in the deck. You can play him out. He can swing for 4, and then Get Ready, swing for 4 again. 8 damage. It's just really good. We're gonna look here at our basic allies. I didn't throw Mockingbird in this deck. I just didn't think he really needed it. He also has a Mockingbird ally, even though I don't think it's the same person, but it might be. So maybe I wasn't allowed to do it anyway, but I was like, I'm not going to include Mockingbird. Nick Fury I did include because he's just the GOAT. And then we have War Machine here, which I thought was a pretty fun and underrated ally. I mean, he kind of reminds me of Colossus in terms of like the X-Men stuff, where he's got He's got 2 Thor, 2 attack, so he's kind of more balanced on his stats, 3 health, but he comes in with the tough. I don't know. I thought the ally was pretty fun, and I think we could have had a chance to play him that one turn, but sometimes the encounter cards don't fall where they should, in my opinion. In terms of our upgrades and supports, well, these are just supports. You have Avengers Tower here. I thought it was really good because almost a majority of our allies are Avengers, except I think his identity specific and Nick Fury, which means it would always be online, and then we could exhaust it and reduce the cost of any of those allies. Helicarrier is just really good, and Avengers Mansion, still sticking with the 1-in-1. I'm not going more than that. I don't like the dead draws. And then, of course, the saucy card that Hawkeye himself came with was triple Earth's Mightiest Heroes. If the hero action is exhaust an Avenger character you control already, another Avenger character. The entire point of it is that if you have an ally that's not going to use an activation, you can exhaust them, ready Hawkeye, and then maybe play a third arrow event for the turn, which could work out really well if you had the economy for it. We didn't really get to play that combo or the Avengers Assemble, but that's what happens sometimes. Everything that you put in a deck gets to be represented, but hopefully in a future game, or if you guys try that for yourself, you can have a lot of fun with that on your own. So now we're done talking about this deck list. Let's go and discuss Absorbing Man and see where he falls in sort of the grand scheme of villains in this game. Let's check it out. Okay, so we're here at the villain ranking, of course, at the end of the episode, and we're going to talk about Absorbing Man. Now, I said Absorbing Man at the beginning of the episode was a part of one of those really kind of infamous villains in this game, and maybe infamous for the wrong reasons, where he's not super difficult, and I think through the gameplay today, I kind of chose a matchup that was kind of even-ish power level. Hawkeye isn't the strongest hero in the world, so I wanted to show off Absorbing Man, giving kind of a challenge, because he can do a little bit of damage, right? Hawkeye has low hit points, so there is some considerations I needed to put into play to make sure I didn't actually just lose to one of his activations. But I still don't think that really changes my opinion on Absorbing Man in terms of fighting him with a limited card pool. Every time I've experienced Absorbing Man, he kind of has that delay counter mechanic, which it should... I feel like if you wanted to make him a more difficult scenario, something that's supposed to rush down, him having low hit points works, him having a high main scheme count works, but I think that there should be a trade-off where if people don't make it and they don't beat him in that 5 turns before the 5 delay counters, I feel like the cards should get a lot harder than they do now. The differences are doing 1 healing to 2 healing, or doing 2 damage to 3 damage. I mean, I don't think there's a problem going up by 1, but maybe try doubling it, tripling it. Is oh man, when he flips this encounter card, he heals for instead of healing for 1, he heals for 3 or 4. That's a big difference, and it punishes people who are stalling too long on Absorbing Man. I know it was early and they were testing the delay counters. It's more of a campaign specific mechanic, but I still think playing the scenario solo, these kind of ideas should be represented, and I think they could be represented well. Obviously, it's something they've learned over time, which is completely fine. Thinking about Absorbing Man, his strengths, his weaknesses, a similar thing to kind of Wrecking Crew, it can deal some damage to you. They won't really get a surprise KO on your hero, but if you're not careful and you're focusing on being in hero mode too much, you might not be able to deal with a lot of the threats and the pressure they put on through damage on the board. But also, similarly to Wrecking Crew yet again, his main scheme is so high. It is at 12 threshold, and it goes up once per turn. It starts with 2. It is almost never going to pop, barring some extreme, really high scheme. This is assuming you have it at 0. It's not going to pop unless you have a really high scheme, and then he gets an encounter card or a double encounter card, which is an advance and a scheme activation. Let's say you decked out. It's almost never going to pop if you're paying attention to it, which means you can kind of flip down as much as you want, take advantage of that extra card, heal up, just do any sort of setup you want before you really push him to that end phase. The side scheme he comes in with on Expert Super Absorbing Power is a good buff. He gets all his traits, but he doesn't get anything else. It's not even an acceleration icon, an extra hazard, an extra encounter card. It's nothing. So you can kind of ignore it a little bit while you're building out. And again, his cards, even when he has the traits, it's another mechanic that buffs him. It's not like it's a huge buff either. My main problem with Absorbing Man is he does present a bit of damage, but that's all he does. His encounter cards aren't scary. The scariest cards, if you're fighting him on experts, are the expert encounter cards, Shadow of the Past, and things such as that. He's really not very difficult. Now, I'm struggling if I think he's the weakest hero in the game. I don't think that's true. I think that still goes to Wrecking Crew, but I do think that Risky Business, Green Goblin, is going to be harder than him. So I think he falls flatly between these two, just based on the things where he has really low health. He has a really high main team threshold. You can flip down. His encounter cards aren't strong. His modular set that he comes with isn't really strong, even though it can be annoying. Like you get those Hydra Patrol guys in there, he gives you an extra encounter card, and you realize that extra encounter card is an absorbing man card that does nothing. His side schemes like Avalanche does nothing and like deals 2 damage to you, but it only comes in with 2 threat. He just really doesn't do anything to really put any pressure on the player. And if you have a good deck or you're like a good player at the game, he should present almost little to no challenges to you, which is why I think he falls in the F tier. But maybe that's an unpopular opinion. You guys can let me know in the comments down below. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We do have a really fun thematic matchup coming up next week, so I hope you guys look forward to that. Another fan favorite villain. He's one of my favorites of mine as well. He's just a really classic villain, a lot of fun, and I'm really excited for that one. But of course, let me know if you guys do this challenge yourself, what heroes you use to defeat Absorbing Man, and if you guys enjoyed the gameplay, leave a like down below, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.